On today's special episode of Sitting Cross-Legged in a Swivel Chair, I'm your host Jeff Teresi, and I'm going to reveal the 2 ways you can deal with something we all experience, rejection, and what you can do to avoid it having a negative impact on you. So be sure to watch to the very end. But first, allow me to introduce a special guest, Bill the basketball. Thanks for joining us, Bill.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Now, it's my understanding that you've experienced rejection quite a bit in life. Is that fair to say?
Yes, Jeff. Yes, it is.
And how would you say that makes you feel when you're rejected?
It hurts. A lot.
Well, Bill, it's time to give rejection a piece of its own medicine and reject it. Now, having grown up with abandonment issues, as well as having 20 years of sales experience, as well as being hung up on for 4 years straight as a telemarketer, I found that there are 2 ways to deal with rejection. You can get bitter, or you can get better. You can allow it to hold you back, or allow it to propel you forward. And it's completely up to you. So don't get bitter, get better. You see, the mistake most people make is they take it personally. At its core, when you feel rejected, you feel unaccepted or not worthy. And that's a horrible way to feel. But when you remove yourself from the equation, you recognize that the other person is saying no for a reason that has more to do with them than it has to do with you. In sales, perhaps they can't afford it. Or perhaps they just want to see all the other options first. Or perhaps they haven't connected with you enough for them to feel that you actually have their best interests in mind. And if they're open to it, then you can begin asking questions and understanding where they're coming from. Now, in the dating world, if someone says no, just leave it at that. Whether we're talking personal life or your professional life, don't take it personally. Taking rejection personally is a surefire way to respond with bitterness. Here's a fun fact. One of the first things I learned in sales training is, on average, guess how many times a person will tell you no before they tell you yes? 5. So don't take it personally. Recognize it's a numbers game, and if you can, make a game out of it. I used to get excited when I'd hear the first no in the sales process because I knew I was that much closer to them saying yes. And here's the beauty of it all. Once you get past that initial rejection, over time, as you gradually get better at handling objections before they arise, and you're able to show the other person that you do actually have their best interests in mind, you're going to hear no less and less, and begin hearing yes more and more. The key is to be pleasantly persistent. Don't be pushy. Never make another person feel pressured to say yes. If you've done all you can to show them that you have their best interests in mind, and they're still not interested, respect their decision and thank them for their time. You don't need to have thick skin to deal with rejection. It just requires an understanding of your own self-worth, which is infinite and unsurpassable, and has nothing to do with what other people think about you. So next time you feel rejected, rather than getting bitter, get better. Rather than letting it hold you back, allow it to propel you forward. If you do, you will break through to your next big breakthrough. And if you've recently experienced some rejection and it's hard to not take it personally, remember, you're not alone. You are loved. Whatever you do, believe in yourself. My name is Jeff Teresi. Thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again next week on Sitting Cross-Legged in a Swivel Chair.